Well, here it is. This is my 2021 NRL ladder predictions. Now, guys, this is just my opinion only. Doesn't mean it will happen in real life. It's just a prediction. So if I have your team pretty low, don't get upset with me. If it's just my opinion on it. Where each team could come in 2021, and hopefully all you guys' teams go well. But guys, this is my opinion. At the end of the day, you can all have your different opinions. But yeah, look, just hopefully you enjoy it, the video, and I'll be going through each and every reason why I have these teams in particular positions. So my wooden spoons for 2021 are the West Tigers. Now, I know I've got a lot of West Tigers fans watching my YouTube channel, and look, I'm really sorry that I have to put your team at last, but look, it's my opinion, and hopefully the Tigers do better than getting last. But yeah, I know Georgios, Rambatsis, Swivey, mate, some other Tigers fans watch my channel as well, and I'm sorry I put your team this low, but I just don't see much from the Tigers in 2021, and a couple of reasons why. So I just think that the Tigers, they don't have the right spine. Mo Zemba, he hasn't been good since 2015. He's kind of really downgraded as a player. I think ever since 2018, 2017, he's become a bit of a joke, to be honest. I think he's more of a 5'8" sort of player, in my opinion, not a fullback. But hey, if the Tigers get Dane Laurie early from the Penrith Panthers, and they trade Paul Momirovski, who wants to get a release on the Tigers and go to Penrith, that could be a good thing. But then again, Dane Laurie's an unknown player. No one really knows what he's like after one game he played last year for Penrith, so that's a bit of a risk. But the thing is, they have no good hooker. Jacob Little, I don't know. I don't really rate him. I think Jacob Little's really not NRL standard. I mean, Jake Simpkin apparently has a lot of raps on him for a young hooker, but again, he's an unknown. They made some alright signings. James Roberts, he's very inconsistent in my opinion. Can either be really good one day, then the other day be, catching himself into trouble and all that. But and I don't think the Tigers have the right forward pack. I mean, there's no dominant leader in that forward pack. Like, I can't think of one player from the West Tigers in that forward pack that can, be a meter eater every week or be the enforcer, because I don't see it. But hopefully Tigers do better things in 2021, but at the moment, I have them at last. 15th place, I've got the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Now, this is a very controversial one because obviously a lot of people have them missing the 8 and probably finishing around 11th, 10th, 9th or 12th, not really around the bottom of the ladder. But for me, I see the Sharks around the bottom of the ladder just because they are under a lot of pressure this year. Obviously, they've only just scraped into the finals. In 2019, they just made it. Luckily, they lost to the Tigers in that last round of the year. In 2019, they would have missed it. Then 2020, they were also pretty lucky to make the top 8. And now there's a lot of pressure on them heading to 2020. 2021, if they can back it all up. But I just don't see. I think John Morris is under a lot of pressure. I feel like all that pressure put on him won't work well, and I just see it being one of those type of seasons for Cronulla. I mean, they have a good team, don't get me wrong. They've got Sione Katoa, Jesse Ramian, Wade Graham, Chad Townsend, all these sort of good players. But the thing is, they've got a lot of inconsistency about them, and some of their players are pretty stale. I think Andrew Fafita is pretty stale. He used to be a really good player, but in my opinion, he's just kind of got a little bit, he's just gone a little bit down in form. I could be really wrong. I think I could definitely regret this prediction, putting Sharks at 15th. But the thing is, a lot of pressure on the Sharks. John Morris, if he fails this year, he'll get the sack, and I just think there'll be a lot of pressure on him. I just see it being one of those disastrous years for the Sharks. I mean, I think they can do better, but just can't see it, unfortunately. 14th place, got the Brisbane Broncos. Look, obviously, last year they got the wooden spoons. A disastrous year in 2020 for them. Obviously, Kevin Walters is there now. He knows the club inside out, and he expects some improvement from the Broncos. But look, I just can't see enough improvement, unfortunately. I don't think they've made enough changes to the team. I mean, they've still got most of that squad that got the wooden spoon in 2020, and just don't see much happening for Brisbane in 2021. I mean, I think they'll improve, no doubt. They'll be more competitive in some games, but I just think at the end of the day, the Broncos are still a young club who are growing, and I think it would take a little bit of time. It's a new time for them now. They used to be that really successful club back in the day, but now they're just a building sort of club like the Bulldogs were, that period, last decade and that. So they're just a building club at the moment, Broncos, and I think that they've got some great players like Staggs. You got Staggs, Tom Dean, who's in two badge, Saka, and all those sort of guys, but I just think that that's not enough, the Broncos, for them to get out of the bottom four. I just feel like that there's still a lot of problems there in terms of the halves, maybe maybe who plays that back row position, replacing David Fafita. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time for the Broncos to kind of get there again, to be more competitive. But at the moment, got them 14th, but they could still be better, I think. But wait and see. 13th place, I got the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now, last year they finished 12th. They were a bit better, from 2020, obviously 2019, sorry, that was a disastrous year for the Dragons, a lot of distractions then, but in 2020, bad start, but they came along better, and they really improved, I think, but I can't see Dragons doing much more than that. I think they'll be the same as last year, the Dragons, kind of be competitive, but won't be competitive for the top 8 or anything. I feel like that there's still a lot of weak gaps for the Dragons. I mean, in terms of the forward pack, it looks very weaker than it was the past couple of years. I mean, losing guys like James Graham, Tyson Brazil, obviously really hurts. And, obviously the Jack DeBellum thing's a whole distraction for the Dragons. So I'm not sure what they're going to do there. I mean, maybe Cameron McInnes to lock and they'll sign Andrew McCulley to play hooker. I'm not sure, but I don't think that McCulley would do much for the Dragons, to be honest. I think McInnes is 10 times better hooker than him. But look, I think Hook, Anthony Griffin, the new coach for the Dragons, obviously, I think he'll improve a lot of things for the Dragons in terms of, maybe their playing style and in terms of being competitive, because that's what the type of coach Anthony Griffin is, a very competitive and hard-nosed coach. But I feel like that there's still a lot of time to take for the Dragons to do much in the future. I feel like that they're building all right with some great young players they have coming up, like Jane Sullivan and all that, but I feel like at the moment the Dragons are still in the building stage, and it'll be a couple more years until we see it around the top, I reckon. Now, this might surprise a couple of people, but I've got the Gold Coast Titans finishing 12th on the ladder in 2021. Now, obviously in the off-season, the Titans have made some decent signings in getting David Fafita from the Brisbane Broncos, got Tino Fuasa-Malawi from the Melbourne Storm, got Sam McIntyre from the West Tigers, Patrick Herbert from the Warriors, and Herman Esiese from the Knights, but the thing is, I see differently. I think everyone's having the Titans around the top 8 and all that, but I don't see it, and I'll give some good reasons why. So, the thing is, the Titans, they were a bit lucky towards the end of the year, I thought, because of the momentum, winning 5 in a row, good for them, but the only thing is, they played all the teams they've beaten, they're all bottom 8 teams. Like, none of those teams were in top 8 contention. They beat at the end of the year when they got their 5-winning streak. The only team they beat that was in the top 8 was the Newcastle Knights, and the Knights were kind of, to be honest, fucked at the time because they had injuries. They were very inconsistent. They were losing players each game. The Knights were cooked then, and Titans obviously took advantage and won that game. But the thing is, the Titans have been really hyped in the off-season. But I do question if they are overhyped, and I think the Titans are overhyped. I'm not hating the Titans at all, but I just think that they're too overhyped, and I just don't think that they've got the team to be there yet. The squad isn't top 8 material. I think Jamal Fogarty is a great young player, but he can't do it all himself. I think he was carrying Ashtail for most of 2020. Let's be honest. Mitch Rain hasn't been good since 2014. He's solid, Mitch Rain, but he hasn't been that great hooker since 2014 at the Dragons. AJ Brimson only played 9 games. He did really well in the space of 9 games, but the thing is, we need to see more games from him, because if he plays a full season, it'll be interesting to see how he mainly goes. But look, the Titans, they just don't have the top 8 team yet, and I feel like that they're close to making the top 8. I think they're in contention for sure, but look, I don't see it at the moment like other people do. Coming at number 11th, I've got the Canberra Bankstown Bulldogs. I feel like that they're going to have a great year. They're going to improve a lot from 2020 and other years. I feel like Trent Barrett, he's really building the Bulldogs really well for the future. He's made some great signings with Kyle Flanagan, Corey Allen, Nick Kotrick, Josh Adokar, and Matt Byrne, both for 2022 and onwards. He's made some great recruitments, and he's got some good players like Luke Thompson. I think, give him time, he'll be one of the best front rowers in the game. That's how much I rate him. You got Josh Jackson, a great leader. You got Adam Mellius, a great lock. You got Hopper White, he's got Nick Meaney and all that. But I feel like the Bulldogs, they're going to have a big 2021. They've got some great young players like Jack Averillo. I think he'll have a breakout year. Brandon Wakeham. Just that the Bulldogs recruitment in the off season has been really huge, and I feel like that all those recruiting will make them a better side. In particular, their attack. I think Barrett, who's big on attack, he'll improve that a lot. The Bulldogs have a very decent squad, I reckon. I feel like they'll do some good things. If they're in top 8 contention, I guess you can say so. Maybe during the year they could be, but they won't be there quite yet. But 2022 will be the year of the Bulldogs, I reckon. And but they're building really well. Barrett's going to have a big year of the Bulldogs, I reckon. And Canterbury fans, don't worry. You're not going to see much darkness for long. You're going to see more light with the Bulldogs coming up, I reckon. So they're the team watching 2021, I reckon, the Bulldogs. Now, this prediction could surprise you guys a lot, but I've got the North Queensland Cowboys at 10th on the ladder in 2021, my prediction. I just think that at full strength, the Cowboys have a really strong and really dangerous team. I feel like if they can keep their injuries, pretty low, I think in their full strength, the Cowboys can do some pretty good things. They've got great players like Michael Morgan, who, if he stays fit, he's arguably one of the best halves in the competition. He's a threat. Got a great running game. He's such a solid player, and Michael Morgan's a complete champion, I reckon. But he just needs to stay fit. I've got Valentine Holmes, who's electric at the back. I've got Hamisa Tabuai-Fidel, one of the best young players in the game. I've got Easton Masters, who's solid on his day. I've got Josh Maguire, Cohen Hess, who, if he's fit, can be a great player, but who knows these days with him. I've got Jason Tamalolo, like I said, Josh Maguire, Francis Mola, who had a breakout 2020. I think in 2021 he can do some bigger things, and I think he'll have another good year. But Todd Payne, the new coach for the Cowboys, I feel like that he's a very solid young coach who I think will bring a lot of success to the Cowboys. He'll definitely do some great things there, and I think that for Cowboys, they've got some bright things coming up ahead. And I think that if their injuries can remain, below bar, I feel like Cowboys can definitely come in contention for the top 8. That's how much I rate them coming into this year. Now, just missing in top 8, coming at 9th, I got the Newcastle Knights just missing the 8 in 2021. Now, a couple of reasons why. Now, don't get me wrong, the Knights have a great team. They've got a very well-balanced team. Ponga, Pearce, Fitzgibbon, Mitch Barnett, and all those sort of players. They've got a nice squad, I think, the Knights, but just that they're a very inconsistent team. They can be good one week, then really bad the next week. I don't know if that will all fix in 2021, but I can't really see much of the Knights. I feel like they'll be competing for a top 8 spot, but they might be the unlucky team again and just miss it by a couple of points. Hopefully that the Knights can do better, but honestly, I just feel like that they're still a little bit behind some other teams. I feel like their backline's okay, but they've just that the backline's okay, but not a superstar backline in my opinion. But look, I think Knights can definitely make the 8, but honestly, I just see them being the unlucky team just missing out in the end. Now, here's my top 8. I've got the New Zealand Warriors finishing 8th in 2021. I feel like that the Warriors will make the 8 because they've got a great team. They've got some amazing big signings in the off-season. They've got some great players there already, like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I know that could be a distraction for the Warriors since he's going to be leaving at the end of 2021. I know that could be a distraction for the Warriors during the year, but I feel like that he'll still play his best footy in his last year for the Warriors, no doubt. They've also got David Foster-Tua and Kim Amalo, two of the best wing combinations in my opinion. Got Ewan Aikens, a sign from the Dragons. He's a very solid centre. Got Peter Hiku, great underrated player. Chanel Harris DeVito, one of the best young halves coming up through the grades. He's such a great young player. And some of their signings, like Adam Fanua-Blake, obviously I'm pissed off how he left Manly, but overall, he should be a great signing for the Warriors. I feel like he'll do some big things for them. Fanua-Blake for the Warriors in 2021, great player. They've got Bailey Sironen, a very solid player. I'm not sure where he'll play off the bench or starting somewhere, but he's a great young player to watch for, Bailey Sironen. I feel like that the Warriors have the team. Ben Mutula, he's an absolute beast. If you don't know already, he's an absolute monster. That bloke, he's such a great player. But I feel like the Warriors have a great team. They can do a lot of big things. The only thing that might be stopping them from being a real contender is the hooker position. Now, Wade Egan, arguably one of the worst buyers in 2020, I think, for the Warriors. Maybe he'll improve in 2021, who knows, but I just think that they need a better hooker than Wade Egan, the Warriors. I mean, if they get Brandon Smith, they're ultimate premiership contenders, but with Wade Egan, I'm not sure, but honestly, the Warriors have enough quality to make the top 8 in my opinion, so big year for them coming up, I reckon. Now, look, I'm expected to be caught bias here, but I've honestly got Manly, my team, coming 7th. I feel like that I might get a little bit of criticism for this, but I feel like at full strength, we know what Manly could do. They've got a great team. Got Kieran Foran. If he stays injury free, he's arguably one of the best halves of the competition. Got Tom Trbojevic, who's an absolute freak, one of the best fullbacks in the game. Got Cherry Evans, a great leader, great bloke, great captain, and everything. He's such a champion player, Cherry Evans. Manly have a great forward pack in Martin Powell, Jake Trbojevic, Curtis Sirenen. The only thing that's a bit of a concern for Manly, in my opinion, as a Manly fan, is a hooker. I'm not sure who's going to play hooker or where. Cade Cust might play hooker, and he used to be a hooker. Before he came a half, Cade Cust, he used to be a hooker, and he played for the under-16 Blues at a hooker, so hopefully he can get his good form back at hooker again if he plays there. But anyway, about that fucking filthy cunt, Lachlan Croker, in my opinion. I hate Lachlan Croker, if you don't know already. Kieran Foran may play hooker, may come off the bench at number 14 for that, which I won't be against, because he can play half hooker if he comes off the bench, but and allow young gun Josh Schuster to play 6, but overall, I prefer Foran at 6 with Cherry Evans. If that's a combination, that's a top-tier combination right there, premiership-winning combination as well. So, honestly, I think Manly at full strength have the great team to make the top 8. Just the hookers are concerned like the Warriors, but I feel like that Manly are a top 8 team, they can remain injury-free. Coming in at number 6, I've got the Parramatta Eels. I think that they've still got a great team and pretty much a solid spine to still carry the way through the top 8. They may go down a little bit, since going back-to-back finals matches, obviously last year in 2020, they had a great regular season, but then finals they crumbled. But overall, I think the Parramatta Eels still have a great team, make the top 8. They've obviously got Clint Gutherson, Mitchell Moses, Dylan Brown, Ray Marnie, Junior Pulo, Nathan Brown, Mike Acevo, and all these other players, but I feel like Parramatta will just miss the top 4. I feel like it'll be too much pressure for them to make it up again after what happened in the finals last year. But I feel like there's more concerns with Parramatta in terms of Michael Jennings. Like his situation will hurt Parramatta. I think Parramatta during the year. Who replaces him? It could be either Hayes Dunster or Tom Opashik, but whoever it is, they've got a big job in their hands to replace someone like Michael Jennings. And plus, Mike Acevo is under a little bit of pressure because I think that maybe Michael Jennings taught Mike Acevo everything, helped him, guided him. So it'll be interesting to see how Mike Acevo goes without having Michael Jennings next to him. But I feel like he'll be all right. Parramatta should be all right around the top 8 somewhere. They're a safe bet for me to make the top 8. So Parramatta at 6 for me. Coming in number 5th, I've got the Canberra Raiders, just missing the top 4 in 2021. I feel like the reasons why Canberra will just miss the top 4 in 2021 is because their backline looks a little bit weak. I think Jordan Rapana hasn't been the same player since 2017 or 2016. He's been a little bit, I guess you could say, a little bit stale now as a player. Curtis Scott's a big concern for me. His defence is really ordinary. Jared Croker is a bit overrated now. I mean, he was underrated in 2020 2019, but now he's just become a little bit overrated. I think he doesn't offer much. He's a good captain, good player, but I don't know. I feel like Canberra, they're just. I think that they've got a great team. They're a premiership-winning looking side, but they'll be unlucky. I think they'll just be in a fight with Penrith Panthers for the top 4 spot, and I feel like they'll just miss out just. I think Nick Kotrick and John Bateman are huge losses. I mean, they haven't even replaced Nick Kotrick yet with anyone, so I guess that's a bit of a concern. They've got no replacement for Nick Kotrick. I mean, John Bateman, they're discussing whether that's between Hudson Young or Corey Harawira-Naara to replace John Bateman in the back row in 2021, but still, losing a quality player and losing such a key player to that Canberra side, as we know, John Bateman, he's very influential for that team, and he'll be sorely missed. So, I don't know, Canberra got a bit of losses to kind of replace, but they should be well safe in the top 8, but top 4, not sure about that. Coming 4th on the ladder in the top 4, I've got the Penrith Panthers. I feel like that they've still got a very top side to make top 4, in my opinion. I feel like that they've got a side that can do many good things and possibly become in premiership contention again, but overall there's still a lot of concern to, obviously, when you lose a premiership, you aren't the same side the next year and all that, but I feel like Panthers, they've still got a good enough side to be in the top 4 or at least top 8, but I feel like that they can either drop out of the top 4. Now, this is a tough one, but yeah, look, I think Panthers will make top 4 in my opinion, but won't surprise if they miss top 4 and finish top 8 instead. But I feel like they've got good halves, and Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, who often crumbles in big games, but, he can still do good things. Nathan Cleary, he's still a solid player. Got a good forward pack of James Fisher-Harris, Billy Kikau, and Liam Martin, who's one of the best young back rows in the game, in my opinion. And you've got Stephen Crouch and Brent Naden when he's on, and you got Dylan Edwards, who's one of the most improved players in 2020. They've still got a good enough and dangerous side, Penrith, to do some great things in 2021. So I expect them to be in real premiership contention again, I reckon. So big year for Penrith again, I think. Finishing third on the ladder in 2021, I've got the Melbourne Storm, the premiers of 2020. They've such a quality team, such a world-class champion side, but usually every year they're a top 2 team. But this year, I feel like it's a year they will maybe go down a little bit because of, obviously, the loss of Cameron Smith. Maybe in some games in particular, if there's like a big game and all that, the Storm are in. I don't know how they'll remain calm without Cameron Smith. I know Cameron Smith's such a quality player. He's the guy that really helps the Melbourne Storm get out of trouble and all that. But now, if he's not there, he could play on still with the Storm, but who knows what the hell he's doing at the moment. But I doubt he'll be there. They've got Harry Grant, a great young player, but he isn't at the class of Cameron Smith yet, Harry Grant. So Cameron Smith as a player and as a loss, it's huge to the Melbourne Storm. And I feel like Storm may lose a couple more games than they usually do this year, but obviously they're still a team that will make top 4 for sure. They're a lock for the top 4. They've still got Ryan Pappenhausen, Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster, Kenny Bromwich, the Bromwich Brothers, I should say, Dale Finucane. They've still got a very top side. Justin Olam, they've got a great side, and Ream Smith, he'll become one of the best wingers at Storm, I reckon. He'll be a great player there. So Storm have a great side, but I just think that this year they're going to go a little bit down, I think. But obviously they're a champion side and they're locked for the top 4 as well. So big year for them again. Second on the ladder, I've got the Sydney Roosters. Another world-class side like the Melbourne Storm. The Roosters have such a quality and such a great forward pack and spine, great backline. They've got everything the Roosters right for them. They've got one of the best fullbacks in the game, or if not the best, James Tedesco, Luke Keary, Jake Friend, Boyd Corner when he's doesn't get any injuries. Got Takayaho and Joe Hargreaves, who are the best front rowers in the competition. They've got such a world-class side, the Roosters, and obviously there isn't much of a reason why they didn't win the Premier back-to-back. I mean, they are the back-to-back Premiers because of such a quality side they have, but heading to 2021, there's still minor concerns for them because they still don't have a recognised and well-known halfback. Obviously Kyle Flanagan going, they wanted a bit of a change to the Roosters, and I feel like that they're going into the new year without a qualified halfback, and I think at this stage you need a good halfback to be in it to win it, and the Roosters are in it to win it, but they need a good halfback if they're going to be really deep into the finals. I think I heard Luke Keary might play halfback, and they might put Lachlan Lamb or the young guy Sam Walker at 5'8", but still, even though Lachlan Lamb and Sam Walker step into that role and play in the halves, they're both still really unknown, and they're good young kids, of course, but they're still unknown players, and but time will tell they can really step up and take the Roosters to another premiership in 2021. But at the moment, the Roosters come second for mine, and I feel like they'll come close, but not close enough. But it's a champion side, and they'll be up there for sure. And here we are, my minor premiers for 2021, and the team that comes first, in my opinion, is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They're the team that will come first on the ladder in 2021, in my opinion. Look at their team, for example. We've got Latrell Mitchell, who I thought was never going to be a fullback, but he's become really good ever since he got injured last year. They've got class. They've got one of the best backlines in the NRL, if not the best. Josh Mansell, obviously a quality sign. He's big for them. They've also got Campbell Graham and Dane Gagai, 2 classy centres. Alex Johnson, who's a club legend, almost a club legend anyway. He's been their one club player, always good there. They've got the halves, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds, both champion halves, both work really well together, and both quality either way. And they've got a great hooker in Damien Cook, who's one of the world's best hookers, I reckon. When he's on, and he's an absolute dangerous player, Damien Cook. Their forward pack is really good. Got Tom Burgess, who really leads from the front, very solid player. Hopefully he can hold the ball. But they've also got Jaden Sewer, who's a very tough player. He's tough as nails. He's a great player. I expect him to play more Save Origin games for Queensland in the future. I've got Cameron Murray, who's all class. Cameron Murray's obviously one of the best locks in the NRL. Such a fantastic player to watch. The coach Wayne Bennett himself, the man himself, Wayne Bennett, he's the absolute champion, Wayne Bennett, and I feel like that he's a guy that could deliver the Rabbitohs the premiership of 2021, number 22, but who knows? But so far the Rabbitohs are my pick for the premiership, but at this stage, who knows? A lot of teams in it to win it, so I think Souths are right up there, but they're going to be a bit of a competition. But guys, that's my ladder prediction right there, and I hopefully you enjoyed.